Hi, Spencer here at Classic Violins to answer some more questions that you guys have been sending in. Today's question is all about rosining your bow. How to do it, how much rosin to use, things like this. So let's get right to it. Applying rosin to your bow is really important. It's very necessary actually for sound production of a string instrument. If your bow has no rosin on it, it actually is not going to produce any sound whatsoever. If you've ever had a bow rehair and had a freshly haired bow with no rosin and tried to put it on your strings, you would be surprised to hear that no sound emulates whatsoever. The rosin is really what helps the hair, the horsehair of the bow, grip the strings of the instrument and make them vibrate. So rosin we know needs to be on the bow, but how much, how often? Well, let's take a look. To start with, when we're going to rosin our bow, we want to make sure the bow is tightened. So I'll just put this under some tension here. For applying the rosin itself, we have a lot of different types of rosin to choose from. A very popular type of rosin are these kind of wooden box rosins that have a little wooden case with a little log of rosin in between. A lot of our rental instruments are equipped with this, and some people really like these type of rosins as they're easy to hold without getting your fingers sticky. And also there's a lot of rosin in there. So to apply the rosin for the bow, maybe this goes without saying, but simply if you hold the bow the way that you would be playing your instrument, start at one end, usually the frog end. We'll make a few small passes just to get some rosin built up on the hair. We'll then go and we'll drag that rosin all the way to the tip of the bow. We'll maybe take a few more small passes there to get some more rosin started, and we'll go ahead and drag that back. We might then make a couple more passes just to make sure that's evenly distributed, and really, that's it. Once a bow has already been initially rosined from a new rehair, that's about all the rosin you need to put on when you go about rosining. And how often do you need to apply this rosin? It's difficult to say. Sometimes that's a factor of how much you play, but usually maybe only once or twice a week. This certainly isn't something you need to sit out and put in copious amounts of rosin every time before you play your instrument. That will actually sometimes can gum up your strings, actually deadening the sound of your instrument, or all that extra rosin is going to have to go somewhere, and usually winds up settling on top of your instrument, which is bad for the varnish, and can also inhibit the tone. So with the woodblock rosin, that's kind of the technique we're using. Another popular type of rosin, sometimes these perostro rosins, or other rosin types that come as a circular cake. The technique is exactly the same for applying something like this, what we would do, but one trick for doing these rosins is that as you apply the rosin, either twist the cake as you move the bow, or if you're going to move just one way with holding this solid, next time you apply, we'll maybe twist the cake a few degrees at a time, just so that every time you're covering a different part of the surface of the cake of the rosin. This way, you won't wind up using the bow hair to cut a big channel one way or the other into the circular rosin, and you allow it to wear down evenly. This will let you get more life out of your rosin and help apply more rosin more evenly to the bow when you are actually applying it. So bow rosining is something that maybe goes without saying, but it's important to think about. Adding more rosin to your bow does not necessarily make you sound better. On the contrary, it might actually do the opposite. But of course, everybody is different. Everybody learns at a different rate and from different types of teachers. If your teacher has something else in mind for how much rosin to use, would certainly encourage you to defer to their knowledge. But otherwise, these are a few tips from us and from our workshop for applying rosin correctly. If you have any questions about bows, rosin, or anything else related to instruments, we hope to hear from you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.